Hi everybody, Bart Terrio at the Montessori Academy, Belmont Green. And I just wanted to kind of share a few videos with some thoughts that might help parents navigate these uncharted waters while we're all adjusting to home life and working with our children. A lot of my friends who are parents are expressing concern and asking questions, and I'm trying to kind of pick a couple of consistent questions and maybe come up with some answers to them that I could share. And so I think the best place to start would be the big picture here. You have to really think about what do you want to get out of this? I mean, yes, it can come down to writing out some specific goals, and that can be helpful, but even more high level than that, what is the goal when you look back on this time? What would you like to be able to say? And I look at it from the Montessori perspective, which is the goal of every teacher when you're talking about a goal for the child initially, and that's what we're doing, you're starting out. The goal of every Montessori teacher is to develop a partnership with the child. What allows teachers to guide children to do work that challenges them and maybe even things that they don't want to do is that partnership. And so when a child joins the Montessori classroom for the first time, just in the same way that your child is joining your home classroom for the first time, the teacher approaches the child always with that goal in mind. How can I establish a partnership with this child? One of the ways that you do that is by giving them choice, respecting their input, helping them to feel trusted, setting up a routine with some external structure on which you can rely to be the control of error, the limits, so that you don't have to be the one putting in those limits. This is still, I don't want to get into the details of how you do that. I'm still trying to kind of point out the concept more, not what to do in this time, but how to be. And that's what Montessori teachers are trained to do, or to be, I guess is the word. So if your child, at any point in time, regardless of the activity, but if it's a part of your homeschool time, I should say, if you notice that your child doesn't feel like a partner in their learning, and that can be pretty obvious because you're going to see pushback and your child can be upset or frustrated. We all know our own children very, very well, and so we know how they're feeling pretty quickly without their even saying it. And so as you're working, doesn't matter what you're doing, math, a puzzle, games, running around outside, anything, right now, because you're establishing a partnership, when you feel that the partnership is way out of balance and that all of it is on your end, take a step back, stop what you're doing, let the air out of the situation. Because what will quickly happen within minutes sometimes with some children is that your child will view you not as a partner, but as somebody he or she needs to get around to do what they want. Someone to be avoided, not someone to whom they can go and say, hey, can you help me with this? Or I'm having trouble with this. And again, we're even talking about very young children who are not going to come up to you under any circumstances and say, I would like your help with this, father or mother. But more just the concept of that they'll accept help from you, but that they'll also want to do things independently. Go back and think, how can I be a partner with this child? Okay, so I talked a little bit about the details. Now let's get back to those. External structure. That is a good way to start. You've got the idea of, all right, I want to achieve partnership. A good way of doing that is getting yourself out of the equation when it comes to being the limit, the stop and the end point. Children, what's really great about this is children do very, very well with structure. They do very, very well with routine. They thrive on it, and consistency is crucial to having them feel grounded, stable, confident, prepared, and ready to kind of pick their head up and maybe try something new, which is what we're all doing. We're all trying something new. So structure. Think about your week and keep it very, very simple. Wake up at the same time, breakfast, and try to maybe get in one recurring activity, ideally like a chore, a very, very simple chore. Feed the dog, load the laundry, whatever it is that works for you in your house. And then they've already accomplished something. We feel good about that. And then pick things that your child likes to do. It can be art, it can be music, it can be going outside, and try to come up with a regular schedule so that they can, at least you can look at the week and go, all right, this is kind of what's going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, and you're going to adjust the schedule, but try to stick to some certain things. Also, if your child is old enough, a constitution it's a great way to establish a partnership right from the get-go, because it's your way of saying, all right, what do we agree upon? What are the important things that we've got to discuss? And again, based upon the level of your child, they can write it or you can write it. And then you sign it, just like a constitution, the constitution, and you put it up on your refrigerator or on your wall somewhere in a prominent place, and you refer back to it. The things that you want to put on the constitution, again, these have to be important things to you, but all of them are aimed at things that you can both do together as partners. Don't put something on there that you know your child won't do, and it's going to be up to you all the time to make them do it. The Constitution is not the place for that. More things like we're kind to one another, be in nature every day, clean up one thing, a day. Start simple, and of course you can amend your Constitution. There's a great precedent for that. And again, when your child feels like they're coming up with some of the ideas, and you can prompt them, like, what do you think about being kind? And then get them to sort of try to articulate that. Then they feel like they're adding that particular amendment to the Constitution. Post it and try to rely on it. These are great ways just to start, okay? Don't go further than that. And I want to stress going back, because how your mindset and how you're entering into this is really, really critical. And so I'm going to say this probably in every single video. Drop academics. Right now, look, I understand in the grand scheme of things, academics have to be a part of your child's development at all ages. It's necessary. And those that are in public school and receiving academics, I mean, let the public school handle that, okay? It's really between the child and the teachers. If your child is struggling and upset and crying, and you feel like you're having to teach them something brand new here, and they're not pushing ahead with the homework and they can't get it done, that is a battle that you cannot win, and all it does is make everything else within that partnership, if you're keeping that as your goal, virtually impossible. Okay, so I know it's hard, and we are sort of preconditioned to understand that we've got to do academics. And it also makes it challenging because there's a million apps out there teaching math and teaching all these things. So it's kind of like, well, there's this need, and this is what you do for it. There's a prescription for it. It's harder to prescribe a method for helping your child feel joyful, helping your child feel confident. There isn't necessarily an app where you can see as they're progressing through the app, oh, well, now they're actually getting more joyous. They're getting more confident. Whereas math, you can, all right, well, now they know how to do addition in the units. Let's go up to the tens. So we as parents also tend to kind of sink our teeth into that, rightfully so, because, wow, I can see what's happening. It's quantifiable. I can grade. I can see and track progress. Okay, but don't fall victim to that. It doesn't mean don't do it. I'm never going to say all or nothing. Shades of gray, of course, but keep in mind that this is the first video of, I guess, a series. And so we have to start from the very beginning. So academics and all that stuff are way down the road, but I just would be totally remiss if I didn't say right now, academics out the window. All right, so we're coming up on like 10 minutes. I had no idea I was talking that long, but anyone who knows me is not going to be surprised that there was a lot of words going on there. So maybe you want to go back and listen to this. Maybe you want to delete it completely because it was too much. Maybe you want to ask me some questions, and I'm not tech savvy enough yet to get it out there to get the questions from you. But I digress. I hope you enjoyed this little snippet, and hopefully I'll be following up with some more in the near future. Thanks a lot. Good luck.